Hello guys, thank you guys so much for the last video's reaction. It went way beyond my expectation. I just filmed that out of whim. I did not expect those very raw, unedited video to gain that kind of traction. So I really appreciate all of your engagements, and unfortunately I've been quite sick to follow up and post more videos, but man, I've been feeling pressure to provide something more valuable. But after 2 weeks of being sick and trying to rewrite all my script, trying to be more valuable, I just decided, you know what, screw it, let me just talk to camera and let me just keep pushing stuff out. So, love you all. I just want to connect better, and hopefully I give you some useful insight through my experience. So today, I'm back with my story on kind of how I position my value as a dev in Japanese career and business, and subtitled, You Don't Have to Be a Tech Genius. So yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so this is a very high-tech visualization of my position in Japan, and it's kind of how I see myself. So I'm somebody who has a skill set of fluent Japanese, fluent English and Korean, I can code, and I have some business skills. So this is kind of how I see myself. And originally, I thought this kind of combination of multiple skills was actually kind of my weakness. A lot of people say if you're a jack of all trades, you're not good at one thing. If you're not good at one thing, you're not useful to be hired. When you're doing a job search, you need to be good at one thing, right? Like that's kind of the thing I've been always told. But well, actually through the experience though, like through combining these skills, what I've realized is that I can not only unlock like regular dev jobs, front end full stack, but I can also unlock opportunities that would require a combination of all these skills, right? So for example, like when I worked for AWS in Japan, cloud support engineer, I basically had to have engineering knowledge to understand the engineering challenges, but also have Japanese skill to talk to customers and have English skills to talk to internal engineers or read internal documents, right? So like that's one role that specifically required all these skill sets to be combined. And when I got a full-time job at Palantir as a forward deployed engineer, I had to add my fourth skill, which is a business skill. So basically, forward deployed engineer is a role where you are basically deployed to work with your customers directly. You often go there on site, and you basically had to not only understand their business needs, but you were also responsible for delivering the technical solutions that could help them to achieve their business goals. So I was like a mini CTO kind of role. I was expected to act as one. By having all my skills and experiences on all these four circles that I showed, I was able to unlock these opportunities. And this naturally led to me having my own business now and getting my own customers, making offers, delivering the stuff, and yep, things are there. And through this experience, what I have learned is that your value, your position in the market not only depends on your skill set, but it also depends on what kind of market need is there. So let us talk about sushi, all right? So I know you all love sushi. I love sushi too. And sushi is a very Japanese food. I mean, obviously. I think what I wanted to say was sushi is a very high-end premium food in many countries, including Japan as well. The difference though is how premium sushi is considered, right? So when I'm in Japan, I can find really low cost sushi at like dollar sushi, right? The 100 yen sushi. But at the same time, I can go to some high-end places that would charge 1,000,000 yen, which is 10,000 Japanese yen, or a little more, or maybe even more than that. The thing is though, this sushi, when it goes overseas, it is valued so much more. People will be willing to pay like $300, $800, or even more for the sushi quality that is not that much different. And this is actually demonstrated by a sushi chef who used to earn 3 million Japanese yen, and now he's moves overseas and he's earning 80 million Japanese yen. Like his income, you see, like it's almost went up by like 27 times or something, which is very, very impressive. And this really demonstrates how your market need can also determine your value, right? Another example, you can think of many things, right? Like for example, I usually talk about mango. Like if you're from Philippines or some countries that have mangoes everywhere, you can probably buy them really cheaply locally at like $1 or $2. But once Philippine mangoes come to Japan, they freaking triple in prices, right? Like you're the same mango, but you literally just tripled in value. So this is kind of something we can keep in mind. And like going back to my circle, right? So I'm Korean, okay? So like let's say I take this exact same skill set and I go to Korea. Like what's gonna happen is like, oh, you're Korean, so like you speaking Korean is not very unique. So yeah, it's kind of obvious, expected. English, yeah, but compared to Japan, we have a lot more English fluent people here, so you're not very unique either. And your Japanese skill, oh yeah, in Korea, our business don't need Japanese, like most of the time. So bam, all of a sudden, like when I'm in the Korean market, I'm not so much valuable. Unless maybe I go for some companies that deal with Japanese clients, but then in those cases, they're like, oh, well, we deal with Japan, but we all don't really deal with English speaking countries. So all of a sudden this skill is not necessary, right? So in some ways, like depending on the market need or the job need, some of the weapons that I have is not going to be utilized in that position. Hence, the value that I can provide to them is not as high. So in sum, what I definitely want to say is that there are so many ways you can navigate this job market, whether you're in Japan or not. But this is kind of how I found my sweet spot. And I was able to unlock a lot of unique positions, even though I was maybe not fit for a lot of positions. So, what does this bring to you guys? So, I know a lot of you reached out to me asking, hey, should I do SQL, Java, should I do Python? What should I do to be more relevant and stay valuable in the Japanese job market? And what I want to say is that there is like no one kind of right way to do it. There's no one size fits all. And I actually think that is beneficial in a lot of ways because you get to express your own unique combo. So my question to you will be, what's your unique combo? And as to discuss why that is important, as my favorite author Tim Ferriss said, I'm paraphrasing here, it's hard to be in the top 1% or even 10%. But if you can be the top 40% at tooth feels, all of a sudden you become really unique, rare, and therefore valuable. It is because if you're unique, you basically become the category of one, right? Now, obviously, it's hard to be like one, but we have to think in terms of like perspective of a recruiter, right? Let's say you're a recruiter and you're looking for somebody who can code, somebody who can speak Japanese, English, and maybe somebody who has domain experience in music, healthcare, climate change, or housing. So I think if you can combine those interests, I think this is a better way to approach how you can find your position in the job market. And especially if you want to break the Japanese job market, it'll be your Japanese language skill added onto this kind of your own uniqueness. So yeah, that'll be my answer to some of your questions who reached out to me. I hope you find this useful. I don't think it's appropriate for me to give you very specific answers like, hey, you need to do Python, you need to do Java. I don't really believe in that. I think it is more useful for me to kind of share the thought process and the steps I took in order to show you that these possibilities do exist and you can do it too. And yeah, let me know what to get to into more in the future. Maybe I'll talk about like my experiences in intern or like how I follow these steps. And yeah, thank you so much for engagement. And yeah, please let me know if there's anything else you want to hear from me. Cheers.